All right, we're rolling. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Hala Pablo. Thank you for tuning back in. We're going to talk about Zcash. Zcash is one of my favorite cryptos. I have a lot of hope in Zcash. I have a lot of faith in Zcash. Um, Zcash is like it's kind of like Bitcoin. You know, it's like Bitcoin's mini me, written with the same code, and it's got the same total supply, I believe. What, 21 million or something like that? I think 16.3 is out right now in circulation, so it's a limited supply. The best thing about Zcash, is the SEC hates it. That's the best thing right now about it. Listen, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, isn't it? I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Zcash is my friend. I have a lot of hope for it. It's bled out tremendously. It's really taken a beating. Really taking a beating. It's just one of those, it just can't catch a break, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's been suspended, or have they actually suspended it? I know that OKX was suspending Monero, Dash, and Zcash. Anyway, and then something about the CEO stepping down, and then there was all kinds of rumors of a backdoor. That rumors have been debunked, but it's just caused it to be bashed and battered and bruised. And like, look at all these sell-offs and all these pullbacks and everything. This is all retail, guys. This is retail capitulation. So it's a bear market, and in a bear market, you got to think like smart money. That's what we do as Wyckofians. We do what smart money does. We do what the institutions do. So primarily in bear markets, smart money is accumulating, or they're absorbing supply. And so every time you see a sell-off like that, smart money is absorbing this supply and then consolidating a little more. Right now, we are in a descending, broadening wedge for Zcash. Now, let me explain something a little bit. What I have right here, these two charts, is what I call fractal range analysis. It's a system that I'm developing to help me see things on the macro and micro simultaneously. The whole idea is if you zoom in close enough on an area on the macro, in this case, this is the daily and this is the 30-minute, you will eventually see a replication of the ranges in the same, for the most part, almost cookie cutter replications of what the waves are doing, just on a much, much smaller format. And so the whole idea of it being is that in the micro format, eventually, if you give it enough time and you observe the waves and the patterns, the Elliott waves, in the volume spread analysis, that whatever the waves are doing on the micro eventually are going to manifest on the macro. And so we see structures, geometric structures in the micro that we know to be either bearish or bullish. And in this case, on the 30-minute, we see a descending broadening wedge, which is extremely bullish. And then we come up on the daily macro and we see a regression trend, which is also eventually going to be bullish. But now we want to look at the more specific forensic details of the waves on the lower time frame. And here we get more of a picture of what Zcash is doing after these series of capitulations within this wedge. And here I'm seeing that the price action is hovering right below the micro trend resistance line. It's already mitigated it at $25, and we're starting to see these protrusions. I call these horns. These are like little horns that come up, and they poke up, and then they come right back down, poking up through the resistance line. And on this last one, we had, I don't know if you could see this, this is a above average volume spike in demand. And what this is this is a demand test. They are testing to see if there is value in Zcash above the micro trend resistance. And what all this volume did, these are all buy orders, but it didn't produce any takers. So apparently there's no value. There's not enough value above a certain area, above this area here. which brought it right back down underneath the microtrend resistance. All of this here is taking place right in this minuscule area right here, which happens to be riding on the 0.5 Fibonacci within this regression trend. So this is a very, very important theater right here. If you think of it as a war, there's a battle being waged on this to see who's going to take the 0.5 fib. If they're able to prevail here and say it comes up and there is value, it comes back down, retests it, flips it to support and comes up, then we can expect the price here on the macro to come up and make another attempt at the macro trend resistance. See if it rises above the micro trend resistance, and we can expect it to take a shot at the macro trend resistance. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing a failure to rally, a rejection coming back down beneath it. So all this means is that it may take another shot down. It may make another attempt, and if it fails again, then we're most definitely coming back down again within this wedge. On the long term, it's bullish, remember, but for the short term, for now, we can go back down and have another wave. And if it does that, then that's good news for us who love Zcash. Those of us who like DCAing, those of us who like to buy, to absorb, to buy. Remember, we do what smart money does. We absorb. And let smart money do all the killing. Let smart money freak all the retail out and get them to capitulate and sell off their bags. And then we swim right alongside them. Think of sharks with pilot fish swimming alongside them, and the sharks kill a tuna. Well, we get a little piece of that tuna too that the sharks leave behind. So once the institutions cause retail to capitulate and retail goes back down in a bloody mess and starts marking back down, we could start juicing it. We could start buying in at these Fibonacci retracement levels, the 1.272, the 1.618, which is the golden, and then the 2. And then we may even go down far enough to have another bounce on the micro trend support line. And if that happens, then we could possibly bring it all the way down to the macro trend support, which could bring Zcash down to a potential $10 range, $10, $11 Zcash. Imagine that. All that is feasible, especially with Bitcoin right now in its ascending, broadening wedge, which is bearish. Bitcoin is bearish right now. Bitcoin is vastly oversold, sitting on a macro trend resistance line with a lot of supply coming in right now. The ETF thing, it caused a lot of hype. It caused basically a FOMO pump, and now they're coming back down. They're going to use that, I believe, to top off the $42,000 give or take counter trend that we're in right now. We may have one more big pump to take it up to 52,000. We're talking about Bitcoin now. If it takes it up to 52,000, we mitigate that liquidity void, that upper liquidity void for Bitcoin, and then I think we're going to come crashing back down into the wedge, and even through that to remitigate the lows on Bitcoin. Even if it comes down to the 0.5 Fibonacci, we're looking at $25,000 Bitcoin. Now, if that happens, and it's not going to stay down there very long, guys, so you're going to have to you're going to have to keep watching it and catch it when it dumps. But if that happens, you could rest assured that Zcash is going to follow, being indexed to its big brother's price action. Remember, this is like the mini-me of Bitcoin. So it's already down here. We're already down here in the valley of blood. But Bitcoin, if the big brother goes down, then this is going to bring this down, just like the all the technical analysis is pointing to something, and that would make total sense. That would jibe with the fractal range analysis charts. That would jibe with the failed demand test, and with the trend levels, with the price action seeking to remitigate the trend levels as well on Zcash. So we're going to remain vigilant. We're going to watch these. I'm going to be watching these along with Ethereum as well. And so that's about all I got right now for Zcash. I love Zcash. I have high hopes for Zcash, and it's a great privacy coin. And I think eventually the SEC is going to back off it because it has a shielding capability. It's basically discretionary shielding. You could either you could have it shielded, or you could remove the shielding for tax purposes. So either way, it could be transparent or non-transparent. It's got that option coded into it, whereas something like Monero does not. It's 100% dark, 100% privacy, and that may pose a threat, like a real threat to the CBDC and the federal government. So that might even be banned. I'm not saying it will be, but it might be. That's why I'm not very heavy in Monero, but I am heavy in Zcash. And so anyway, Looking forward to see where this goes. Hey guys, if you got anything out of this, I appreciate a thumbs up, like, subscription. Stay safe. Let me show you how to stay safe. Let me show you tech analysis, price action, volume. Let me show you how to stay safe. Stick around and then show you how to be incredibly prosperous in the bull markets, which is coming, but we're going to have some more blood first. Okay, we got to get through this winter. If this is the winter that we're like in the month of January, think of it as like winter. Next month, February. February's cold too. In Texas, that's when we get some of our most vicious ice storms is in February. Right on the heels of spring. So the darkest hour is right before the dawn, and we're going to see a lot more blood before it gets better. The darkest part of the haunted forest right before we break into the clearing, and then we're going to see the reversals, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be a glorious thing to behold. Make sure you're alive and you have fiat on hand. Don't get raped. Don't get smashed. Don't get wrecked by the market makers. Don't be the liquidity provider when they bring these coins back down in these counter trends. Okay, guys. Hey, check out our trading group. I run a Discord trading group. Very, very affordable. $20 a month. I teach you how to do all this stuff. I teach you how to read Wyckoff, Elliott Wave, VSA, Wolf Wave, Fibonacci, all that stuff. Learn how to trade the right way and stop losing money in the crypto markets. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go. Adios. Bye-bye.